Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here, and today I have a new driver, shiny new driver with a very funky new face. So my new Stealth Plus, I've gone down to an 8 degree, and I've got a Ventus Black X. So you see it, and I'll be completely honest, I was recommended to get this because a lot of the tour pros have it, and they said my swing speed is pretty similar. So we went for this one, and what a lot of the tour pros do also is they tip the tip of the club. So I've got an inch tipped. So what that means is if you cut more at the bottom of the club, it makes the club slightly stiffer. I was recommended to do that, and apparently this is why a lot of the tour pros do it, is the shaft used to go all the way into the head. Because we have these new sleeves for the adjustability, the head and the shaft, they don't go in quite as much. We used to call that like a through bore. So if you look at the old clubs, you'd see kind of where the shaft was in here. You see when we look in here, it's pretty empty. So that is why I went for the shaft. I have used this club a few times on the course. Feels great, but there's a few things I want to play around with. I went into an 8 from a 9, but I had my Sim 2 on a lower setting. So I'm trying to make sure what is the best setting, and will I get benefits from changing the movable weight in the middle of the club. Ideally, I would do this outside, but Southwest Florida, although it is one of the best places in the world, not so much for hitting golf balls this evening. We have thunder and lightning, so that is why I am in our golf lab. Ideally, especially I'm going to be using the Trackman, I would prefer to be outside, but what this is going to allow me to do is I can use my game ball, and Trackman used to have kind of the notion that it wasn't particularly good indoors. It's far better than it was. You know, the new Trackman actually has radar and a bit of, you know, optics in there. But I have put kind of the shiny fluorescent dot just to try and help the Trackman out. But what I'm looking for is spin and launch to spin. I have a feeling, and again, like I said, I have used this on the course, I have a feeling that this club could actually go a bit higher and it could maybe even spin a bit more. So for that reason, I'm probably not going to have to lower it down. So whereas my 9 was playing as a 7, I think I'm going to be able to play this club in an 8. When it comes to loft, so the loft has an influence on the launch angle, but not as much as people think. So let's say you were launching the ball 2 degrees too low for your optimum distance. If you add 2 degrees, you're not going to see 2 degrees increase. You'll see a small increase, but certainly nowhere near 2 degrees. And that's because the face, although it is a component of the launch, it's not the only exclusive thing that has an effect. You know, the angle of attack, contact, lots of other things are having an influence on that. But what loft does have a huge influence is on the spin. So if you overspin the ball, removing loft should remove that problem. And again, we have to find the balance between all of these different components. It's why sometimes either spending a lot of time trying to optimize or having a club fitter help can be of great benefit. But let's whack some. Let's see what's happening. Let's see if my inklings are kind of right, or am I not right? I hope it's not the latter. So let's see if I can kind of show you on this. So we can look at the face and it shows you a signature. So can you see everything slightly out the toe? That tends to be my tendency. It's one of the reasons I was using a 47.5-inch driver. I actually found that was the best way for me to control my strike. still a little upset with the USGA. You know, I was thinking of taking the USGA on with Phil, but Phil he's just not returning my calls anymore, so I'm getting the impression that maybe he's lost interest in helping me. But yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing, gonna take the weight and put the weight slightly over onto the toe. If you know what your tendency is, we want to set up the club so it's going to actually try and move the center of gravity a bit more over there. Try and get that weight in behind the strike. That is not necessarily the perfect solution, but when we understand we have tendencies in our game, setting up our equipment to help is the way forward. Too many people think, well, I'm just going to make it so I have to swing better. But if you're swinging with a predictable move, if you're showing the same dispersions both in the ball and the dispersion across the face, rather than adding in new variables to try and move it, try and set the club up, and then through time try and maybe make the changes necessary. I always think too often people in the quest to get to the next level, they don't max out their capabilities in their current level. Think about it, and think about it honestly. Think about the golf game that you have. Do you maximize your scoring every time? And you know, that's a leading question for sure. But what I feel like is people go, oh, my contact's here, I need it here, and in a quest to change that, loads of other stuff changes, so you're actually not as an efficient golfer, or you're certainly not as good as you could be with what you were already doing. So I'm going to hit a few more to confirm this, but that was expected, and again, with the driver having to be, I'm at 46 now, I've gone as long as I can, but God, I'm still angry. I thought I would let that go. I clearly haven't. Couldn't even get out a Phil Mickelson joke. So there we have it. So a couple of things that I'm seeing. I haven't been playing a great deal. I've been a bit injured. Plus, let's just say I could have been a little healthier over the season. So my club speed is in and around 114, 115. So I have lost 5 miles an hour from where I was this time last year. But that was kind of expected. Such a good reason to check. This driver compared to my Sim 2. So my Sim 2, I was struggling with overspinning it. So I wasn't that happy when I took it from a 9 and put it down as that lower 7 setting. It works fine, but I felt a little uncomfortable having it that low. With this one, if anything, looking at what I'm getting, I could arguably, actually, I'm launching the ball a bit low. I could arguably put some loft on, and I'm not having the overspin issues. I will do another video. This is a quick video. I got my US Open qualifying in 2 days. I wanted to do something. It's raining, so I'm in here. This is a bit of initial testing. First things first, I love the feel. The shaft and head combination feel great. The 8, I'm pleased I got the 8 because I can lift up the loft if I need to. But what I'm happy about is I don't feel like I need to lower it. Plus, the adjustable weight here the Sim 2 doesn't have that option, so that's why I'm really happy this sliding bar is back. So you see I can kind of optimize that for my strike. Like that one there, 169.3 ball speed. I did seem to be getting a little quicker on the ball speed, which I would kind of expect with this being here. You know, it should stabilize the strike. You know, it's effectively making the center of the club a bit more over there. So how big a difference, I don't know. I will do more, I will do stuff outside, but I'm kind of setting this thing up for an event on Monday, and I'm pretty pleased with where it is. I've just changed it. Not going to change the loft, and that's a good thing to understand. Please get some comments down below, and like I said, I will be doing more testing with this, so if you have any questions, there's any data that you want to see, you know, I'm happy to compare it again against my Sim 2. I do have a Sim 2 stealth comparison, but it wasn't this shaft. It was the shaft I had in my Sim 2. I just swapped it into I think a 9-degree head, tried to get them similar loft. So if you have any other questions, who's tried this club? I think it's great. I think it feels great. Yeah, get some comments down below. The time, it's 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I need to get home, see the baby, have a rest, caddy in tomorrow, try and practice a little bit more, and then Monday we'll find out if I can qualify, if I can be an impressive buzzman or an embarrassment of a buzzman. But God, where'd you go from that, Steve? I'm just gonna have to finish the video. Be happy, be safe. Hope to catch you soon. Ah, Steve, don't be an embarrassment. Please, not again. You've embarrassed yourself enough already in life.